K cars coming to the US. Trump has said he wants K cars in the US. This is my biggest nightmare, but I'm starting to come around to them a little bit under certain circumstances. This is from the President of the United States. Look what he has to say about K cars.
If you go to Japan, where I just left, and if you go to South Korea and Malaysia and other countries, they have a very small car, sort of like the Beetle used to be with the Volkswagen. They're very small, they're really cute. And I said, how would that do in this country? And everyone seems to think good, but you're not allowed to build them.
All right, so we're going to break it up a little bit so we don't get copyright strike.
Yeah.
But they're looking at bringing in the little K cars from Japan. Dane, we did a story about this a little while ago, and I did not think that people should buy these things. But the thing is, I am not an influencer. I am willing to be influenced. I got a lot of pushback in the comment section. They said the K cars are great. If I want to drive them and if they're not that crash worthy, then that is my choice. And you know what? Maybe that is true. Let's finish listening to the president.
Mm-hmm.
And I've authorized the secretary to immediately approve the production of those cars. So you'll be able to buy they really are, they're actually, some of them are really beautiful, actually.
So there you go. We're going to look at a couple different K cars and maybe a couple of my suggestions. Maybe we could adapt them a little bit for the U.S. Dane, I saw a K truck at the city dump.
Really?
Yeah, and so they are everywhere. I think this might be an opportunity for liberals and conservatives to agree on something, because I think people in cities like these cars, the hipster, the new
Really?
college students. Yeah, that's who was arguing with me in the comments. And
It was
it's
college
country
students
folks.
were arguing with you about those things?
They look like college students in their pictures, or little hipsters, I guess. I don't know.
Really? That's I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah,
So when
people in cities. What do you think, Dane?
Now, the stereotype that I'm aware of with these people, at least when I see key cars and who's going to get one, it's like rural people, like that have a little bit of land that they can, use these things on, or take them through trails and use them on the farm and that kind of stuff. That's usually where I'll see them, or people that are just maybe in a vast areas where there's huge tracts of land and fire roads, and you need like an off-road vehicle that also goes on road. That's where I usually see people operating these things.
Yeah, well, they have different sizes of these cars. We're going to look at a couple of them. Let's look at a couple of articles. Let me see. We're going to bring up some articles. Yeah, so in the rest of that video, Trump, he told, I think it's the Department of Transportation, to get on changing some of those regulations. And yeah, he was telling some of the automotive OEM CEOs in the background, and they were listening, and I think maybe they'll be able to make some of these vehicles on their own too. They want to build them in the U.S., which is good, for our workers. With as many cars as we can build, that would be awesome. But let's look at this article here from Motor One. Trump says Japan's cute key cars are coming to America. Look at this one. The Secretary of Transportation has cleared the deck for automakers to build and sell them in America, the United States of America. There we go. So let's see. This is the spokesperson was quoted from the Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said during a CNBC interview that he worked with NHTSA and that we are in the process of clearing the deck. And the complete comment provided by the Transportation Department is below. Let's see. He worked with NHTSA in the process of clearing the deck. Listen, if there's a market for those vehicles, I want to give our manufacturers the opportunity to build those cars. And so we are going to clear the deck, clear the rules, and let them build those small cars. And again, are they going to work on the freeways? Probably not. But again, vehicles that work in cities, and if that's where you want to drive it, could be a great solution for you. And by the way, much more affordable than other options that are on the market today. That is what I think is really a big deal, Dane. These vehicles are they're very inexpensive, and people want to buy a new car with a warranty and have it cost, maybe $15,000. I mean, the lowest cost vehicle in the US, I think, is 21 or 22,000. People need less expensive cars. Dane, what do you think?
I think these things are junk, and I think when people buy them, they're gonna realize they're freaking junk, and they're gonna wanna give them back and buy and get into an SUV like they had before. And I'm not even joking, man. Like, look at like the user base or the term of ownership for like a Chevy Spark or a smart car or anything
Mhm.
else that we already make it's in that same size and range. People don't hold on to those things for very long, and the resale value is nothing on them. Nobody wants those things once they're a couple of years old. They get them with the idea that, hey, this thing's going to be great for fuel economy and whatever. And then they have the car for a couple of years. They're like, you know what? This great fuel economy sucks because the car sucks. I want a car
Oh,
that's fun to drive or bigger because I need more space. I got to haul the kids and the dog and the whatever else.
yeah.
These cars don't do that. They just don't fit with American lifestyles. They're
Oh,
too
okay.
freaking slow. You can't get out of your own way. You can't pass anybody. And you're a danger to everybody else. And you piss everybody else off that's behind you. These
Okay.
cars suck. This is why
All
you
right.
shouldn't
Well,
buy one.
Dane, you don't have to hold back. You can tell us how you really feel.
If
Okay.
you like key cars, I'll say to your face how stupid they are.
All right.
They're dumb. Hey, we can go fight in the comments.
Oh my God, Dane is on fire today.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at this. This
I
is
didn't realize
another
you were gonna hit me
article.
with this. I'm all triggered now.
This is another article from Motor One. This who is echoing Dane's sentiments, and he says the article's author says Americans don't actually want K cars. Trump's latest scheme to bring K cars to America sounds like a good idea, but the reality is that most Americans actually don't want them. I guess that includes Dane. He has made his comments very serious.
Mhm.
So the author says K cars are awesome. Tiny Japanese market runabouts have diminutive proportions and puny engines, often delivering no more than 80 horsepower. Having driven one in its home country, it's easy to see why people are so obsessed with them. They're cute, charming, and in a jam packed city like Tokyo, ideal for shuttling around the tight city streets. But he's saying Trump, as with most of his impulsive decisions, Trump immediately implored the Secretary of Transportation to lift all restrictions on K cars to the U.S., to which Duffy responded, yes. All right, so the author is obviously a little bit biased. He's saying Trump's being impulsive. I mean, we don't know if this was an impulsive decision. He could have been thinking about this for a while. So to say that it's impulsive is a little bit presuming things on the part of the author. But anyway, he's saying unless these vehicles are insanely cheap upon arrival, they'd make almost no sense for the majority of American car shoppers. Okay, well, I think the point is the majority of Americans don't need to buy them, but some people might actually like them, which is my point going forward. The author goes on to say, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here. I'd love to see a Honda S660 in my driveway as much as the next guy. But the idea of automakers bringing K cars to America is a deeply flawed premise, one that probably won't go any further than the president's lips. Okay, well, we will see about that. Here is
Mhm.
one of the K cars, S60 660 by Mugen. So yeah, there we go. And he goes on to say the Mitsubishi Mirage didn't sell more than 13,000 examples this year. And he's saying these vehicles don't sell like what is Dane is saying. He say they average 50 to 80 horsepower. Even the Mirage has a scant 78 horsepower. All right, so we're going to look at some sales numbers that I did some nerd research on. This is a Mitsubishi Delicia. But and here this is the truck I saw, Dane. I saw
Yeah.
this in America.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those things around, but they don't usually, or at least I shouldn't say a bunch. It's not uncommon to see one here, like on a farm.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's a couple different manufacturers. So there's like the Honda Ackley. There's, I believe there's a Nissan one. There's a Diatsu. There's a handful of different manufacturers that
Yeah,
have a truck that looks. They all look the exact same.
Yeah, we're going to look at some of those. Let's look in the comments real quick. This guy says, "Hey Motor, can you please enable us to not read dumb articles like this from this or other content creators? Hatred for Trump is just so stupid in an article like this. We are part of a capitalist society, and no matter what Trump does, a company would not import and sell cars that are not profitable and that they would not deem us as a market. Stop the BS from writers like that write bias over balance." Ouch.
Can I give some input here?
Sure.
Something nobody covered so far is why are K cars not being manufactured in the United States right now?
It's for regulations.
Like what?
So safety, I don't
Yeah.
believe they'll pass crash tests.
Exactly. That's the big ones. So it's not like there's a rule that says these cars are too small, dumb, and slow, which they are. That's why we can't make them here. It's that they're not safe. They don't meet the safety standards. They don't meet the emission standards that is required to sell a vehicle in America. That's the biggest one. There's some other things too. So if Trump just waves a wand and says, we're going to let those fly, does everything else get to fly now? Do we not have any, 5-mile-an-hour bumpers anymore? Do we not have any crash safety standards for
We'll
all
see.
vehicles? Do we lose all, emissions regulations, or is it just these tiny cars?
Well, they cut the cafe fuel standards recently, so a lot of these standards are going away. They're going to let the people decide. Let's look at this. Another comment. This guy says, "My opinion and many others. You are biased. Try to have an opinion other than anti-Trump. This is just a dumb opinion, in my opinion. And you're welcome. And no, thank you." Okay, who wrote this?
Is that you?
I didn't write that.
No, I don't know.
Oh no. So yeah, people are saying that the author is a little bit biased. So let's
Yeah.
look at some numbers. Let's look
He
at
is
some
biased.
numbers. Yeah, he is, but I mean,
Aren't we all?
yeah, everybody has their opinion about things, and
Yeah.
it's okay to share them. But let's see. This is Car Figures, the Mitsubishi Mirage. He's saying it's not. He's saying Americans don't want small cars, and Dane. I've done videos about the Mitsubishi Mirage. I try to get people not to buy them, and they do not listen to me at all. They tell me to shut up, and they
Mhm.
love their Mitsubishi Mirage. So you know what? Let's look at the sales numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. I am willing to have my mind changed sometimes. Let's see. All right, Mitsubishi Mirage yearly US sales figures. Let's see. The highest one was in 2019 with 26,000. The 2021 had 22,000. 2024 is 20,000. Yeah, so those numbers are not that great. So maybe he has a point, but then I decided to look up another small car because maybe it's Mitsubishi. Mitsubishi doesn't sell that many cars of
Mhm.
any car, really. So let's
true.
look at another company
Look at the
called Nissan.
did you put, well, before you get to it, maybe you already did. Do you have the Yaris on there?
No, I don't. I don't.
Oh,
We
okay,
can.
never mind.
So let's see. The Nissan Versa is another small car. It's
Mhm.
affordable. Let's see what their sales.
I've driven one of these things.
The Versa.
Yeah, it was a
Okay.
rental car from from a rental place, but I got it when I flew on it somewhere. So I got it from the airport.
Okay.
It was garbage.
So let's see.
Hot garbage.
All right, Dane. We know you hate it. So 2024, the Versa sold 42,000, which is pretty good. And let's see, 20,014. 2021 was 60,000. Their highest year was 2015 with 144,000. That is pretty good. And there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years in a row it sold over 100,000. So those are pretty good numbers, I would say. It maybe it just depends on the vehicle if it's small and if it's not going to sell. I know some other small cars don't sell like the smart car, but people were liking and recently, they sold more because they decided to stop making them. So there was like a little bit of a run on those vehicles.
Mhm.
So yeah, people are liking some of them.
I
Let's
think the
look at
Versa
the
is a little
sales.
too big for most of the K car sizes, though.
I know, but I'm just saying. I mean, they're going to be making new ones, so they can make them a little bigger. I'm
I
thinking.
think they're supposed to be a certain size, though, to be a K car.
I know, but if
I
they make them in the U.S., they could adapt them a little bit to our liking. I mean, they make different versions of vehicles around the world. There's a slightly different version of Toyotas that they sell in the Middle East that are made for that environment. You
Right.
know, they have different features on the RAV4 in Mexico. They have a full size spare. The last I looked up
Hmm.
in 2024, I believe I looked that up. So yeah, they're different adaptations. So they might adapt these cars to our world. But let's look at the sales numbers in Japan where they sell.
You have a
Let's see.
bushing pulled up.
All right, let's go to a different thing here. Unless you want to talk about bushings, Dane, we could talk about bushings.
We can talk about bushings. Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is the 2024 Japanese best-selling mini cars, K cars. Let's see. So the Suzuki sold the vehicle is
Mhm.
500,000 in 2024.
Wow.
Daihatsu
Yeah. Yeah.
350,000, Honda 288,000, Nissan 188,000, Mitsubishi 73,000. So they don't sell huge numbers in Japan, but they sell okay.
Oh,
They don't sell as much as their normal size cars is my
yeah.
main point. So
500,000 is a lot of cars, man.
that's pretty good. That's the top one though.
Yeah. Top two. I
Top,
didn't realize Diatsu was that big too.
yeah, that's for all their
Still.
mini cars. But yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, so here's the individual cars. There we go. The Honda N Box sold 206,000.
Mhm.
The Suzuki Spacia sold 165. The Daihatsu Tanto sold 93,000. Suzuki Hustler, I'm a hustler,
I like the way that
sold
sounds.
92,000. Maybe that'll sell good in the US.
Hmm.
Because people, and I was thinking, people who do the delivery services,
Yeah.
hustlers, hustling to make some money, honestly, they might like it to buy a Suzuki Hustler and make some money.
Hey,
That's
if
what I
they can
think
get there fast enough.
could buy some of these cars. Yeah, so let's see. Most of these cars don't sell over 100,000, and we saw the Versa sold over 100,000 in the U.S. So I think the potential is there. I think there is an appetite for these cars, whether we like them or not. I don't love them, but I'm starting to think maybe they might be a good option for somebody, and this for some people. And this is America. So you know what? If you want to buy a little K car and drive it, just around the city or in the country, why not? Why freaking not? I Let's look at some pictures of them. I like to look at the pictures, see what we're getting into here.
What we
All
got?
right. What do we got here? So this looks like that Honda N box. See, this isn't that small. It's kind of hard to tell from
They're
looking at it,
small.
but
They're
yeah,
real small.
they are.
Yeah, like that
It's
truck.
not that much smaller than my Honda Fit I used to have.
Yeah, the fits are small. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're a little bit smaller than a Honda Fit. Even the trucks are.
And I was thinking, I used to drive a Honda Fit around Philly for a couple years, and I don't know, I didn't die. I was all right. I
Yeah.
did almost get crushed by a bus one time. I had to be fast with ninja reflexes to get away from it. But yeah, they're not too bad. Guy, what do you think in the comments? Would you buy a little car if they could sell these things for around 15,000? I'm telling you, Dane, there is a market for these. They're not going to sell, F-150 numbers or Silverado numbers. The Silverado does sell more than the F-150
Oh yeah.
because you should include the Sierra, and that's what we do on this channel. But they're not going to sell numbers like that. But I think they could sell 100,000 a year for each one. I could see Honda bringing one, maybe Nissan. Do you think they'll sell 100,000 a year if they brought the Honda N box, Dane?
Not in the first year.
Oh, well, I think it'll sell more in the first year.
No, probably not. I think it'll
No,
take a
that'll be the
while.
biggest year, probably.
I don't think many people are going to buy them right away. I think it would take a lot of time
You
to
think
kind
so?
of to build sales. I think so.
What about these little trucks? I think people could like these trucks.
See, I see a use for these little trucks, but keep them off the highways and your 2-lane roads because they're just so dang slow. They get in the way. They clog
Oh,
up traffic.
that's what I wanted to say, Dane. So
Mhm.
I looked up, I did some nerd research, and I'm showing, let's see, the Honda N box, the 2024 horsepower is they have a naturally aspirated one is 58 horsepower and a turbo one is 64 horsepower. Now, Dane, 64 horsepower, I think they could easily increase that horsepower up to about 85, 90. Don't you think you could increase the horsepower if they brought that into Dane's custom garage?
Oh, yeah, I know I could.
You did, so couldn't Honda do that?
They could do that. Are they
Yeah,
going
so
to?
I think they will
Probably not.
adapt these vehicles for the US, make them a little faster, make them maybe a little bit safer, maybe a little bit bigger wheels, make it a little bit higher off the ground. I think these can be adapted to fit our market. Now, as long as if you want to drive these things, I would say keep it in the city. Okay, keep it on the country roads unless they get fast enough to get on the highway. I see a real market for these. I see people, they want a vehicle about 15 grand, maybe 250, 300 bucks a month. There is a market for that. And I'm telling you, they will sell. Dane, I'm going to give you the last word till we go on to the next article.
Yeah, they'll sell some. If you want one of these, buy one. It's a free country. You can do whatever you want. I don't really care. But I also reserve the right to make fun of you for driving one of these things
Okay.
and
Well,
honking when you're
Dana's
getting
going.
it and honking when you're clogging up traffic, getting in the damn way.
Yeah. All right. Well, Dana's going to make fun of you. I am coming around a little bit. I wouldn't personally drive one, but I could understand why other people like them. And you know what? Like Dane says, a free country. Maybe let's liberals and conservatives agree on something for once and say if the people want to buy them, let them buy them. And that is all we have to say about that. Let's look at the next article. I know Dane wants to look at some fast cars.
I love fast cars.
The K car is not quite fast enough
No.
for Vin Diesel Dane over here, living his life a quarter mile at a time.
So sometimes an eighth mile.
An eighth mile. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.